which is between Saranac Lake and Tupper Lake, and it was kind of cool. In the United States, different restaurants were getting local products, or they were tied into farms, and I didn't know how to do that. And I'd asked around. Somebody introduced me to Steve Tucker, and it all came from an introduction from one person to another. And I said, hey, do you have anything that we can buy or anything, along those lines? I think maybe you had 3 or 4 things the first year. After that, there was a little bit of a lust for more and different products that were available that I couldn't get through Cisco. Cisco's a great company. One time I did this and I said things and they called me the next day and said, a little bit nicer. They're a good company, but there's a difference between buying products from the back of a Cisco truck when it gets wheeled in to the back of a pickup truck. It inspires the kitchen. It's a better product. It has better flavor. It's more nutritious for you. So what Steve and I did is we would go through a seed catalog every year. And I'd say, can you grow this? Can you grow that? He'd say, yes, no, we'll give it a try. And that's essentially how we built our relationship. And I think we got up to almost 100 different products or vegetables that you would grow or try to grow specifically for us. At that time, I don't think there were too many bigger relationships in the area in terms of farm to table. And that's when it really started to grow up here. And I think from that, Steve, how many restaurants do you work with now?
I'm up to 9 restaurants. It's about as much as I can handle without hiring any outside help.
So that's a short story. Some of the challenges that we had, the first one obviously was pricing. And we went at it in terms of saying, if you as the farm are making all of the money and I'm paying too much, or I say farmers market prices, but prices that are a little bit higher than wholesale, then I'm not going to keep my job or I'm going to go out of business. And vice versa, if I'm paying you not enough for you to make a profit for your time and your effort, then you're not going to exist either. So we had to come to this meet in the middle point. And we would achieve the meet in the middle point. I know what I paid at Cisco in different places. And many times Steve would say, what do I charge you for this? What are you willing to pay? We talk about the prices that they were on the market, and we never wanted him to beat that, but that was how we could gauge what he should be charging. And then he had to figure out a little bit in reverse, all right, am I doing the right things? Maybe this isn't something I should be growing because I can't afford that. But vice versa, I remember in the summer, zucchini is abundant up here. Most people try and leave it in the back of your car or something like that. But and I keep saying Cisco, but through Cisco, it's $2 a pound. And if you can get $2 a pound out of our relationship, that's what the price was. So it worked that way, that's what I paid at that time. Because if I wasn't getting it from him and I had to get it through a bigger purveyor, that's what I would have had to pay. And I think that was part of our trust and our honest relationship and how we move forward. Packaging is sometimes difficult. I think flexibility from the kitchen side is difficult. If you're a big restaurant, we buy 200 heads of romaine and it rains 2 days before and it's a Saturday, you should start to think in advance, okay, I'm going to make sure that they have that, or the dirt content in the lettuce, or all the different things that could go wrong. Having to miss tractor breaks or something like that. Are you able to switch your menu? Are you flexible? I think that you always have to be flexible in order for that relationship to work. And then last part, I think a lot of times buying local was always all or nothing. And I never really took that approach. If you can do 5%, that's great. Sometimes the business model that people have, they can't afford certain products. That's fine. But if you can find 1 or 2 things that you can buy locally, that keeps the money in the area, that he spends on the guy down the road that changes his oil, that buys this, that pays taxes, that pays the road. That's my story in a nutshell. Chef.